Welcome to the Ultimate Combat Experience at Club Axis in downtown Salt Lake City. My name's Mike Stidham. As always, our sponsors are Mountain High Motorsports and Priority One Bail Bonds, keeping families together. We got a huge show in store for you tonight. We've got NHB Kickboxing, the best of the best in Utah. In round one, we had some tough fighters come out. In round two, they got even better, but round three, the best of the best in Utah truly are here. We've had a little bit of everything. We've had an attorney, we've had real estate agents, we've had mailmen, we've had everything in the ring, but tonight, we've got some excellent fights.
We do have some good ones, Mike, and we're going to see these two guys step in. Eddie Zimmer and Jarvis Whitehorse will be first up, followed by Keith Semken and Nathan Rogers. Then it's the postman, Adam Faulkner and Frankie Four Fingers Campos, before Nate Tayborn and Derek Downey square off in another matchup. And Gedeon Jarvis takes on the very tough Josh Burkman. And then, of course, the main event tonight, we're looking forward to Robert Densley and Johnny Riche. That should be a good one. And there you see what they're all fighting for tonight. Mike, the crowd is just electric. Everybody looking forward to a finals night of Ultimate Combat Round 3.
Oh, and rightfully so, man. This lineup is awesome. And I can't tell you a weak fight on the card. Everybody in this tournament, we truly do have the two best in each weight class.
Lights go down, and it looks like Jarvis Whitehorse is going to be our first man into the ring, coming in as a flyweight, no-holds-barred fighter tonight.
This Jarvis Whitehorse just cracks me up. He comes into my gym to train once in a while, and I see him standing out. We're watching the class, and he bounces up and down while he's watching it, but doesn't do a whole lot of training.
That could be trouble for him at some point. 5'6", 140 pounds. He comes in as an independent. We had a chance to talk with him before this big night in the ring of Ultimate Combat.
This is the championships. You're fighting for Utah's toughest fighter title tonight. Does that mean anything to you?
Well, not really.
Jarvis, I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Okay, thanks.
Mike, I think you were being kind there. That lackadaisical attitude about training, he better get more of an eye of the tiger tonight, or he's in trouble against this guy, well, Eddie Zimmer.
He's a great interview too, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, we've called him Sugar before, and you see the tattoo, but I understand that's kind of a sore point.
Well, he doesn't like to be called Sugar. It reminds him of an ex-girlfriend, so he's actually getting that tattoo covered up.
I haven't thrown a lot of punches in this championship match yet, but I'll be quicker than him, I can tell you that.
He comes in 5'9", 135 today, so he's in for a little pain to get that thing removed. That's a pretty good sized tattoo.
Yeah, he said he's going to cover that thing up, and it's going to cost him a little bit, but thanks to one of our good sponsors, Two Cats Tattoos, he can get over there and get it covered up.
There you go. We're about to get underway, and there's the opening bell of 3 scheduled 3-minute rounds. Man, you see Sugar. I guess I better not do that. You see Eddie come out and go right after Jarvis.
He was talking in his interview a little bit about he was nervous about mixing it up with Jarvis. Jarvis showed some really good stuff in a previous fight, outboxed a very talented boxer. So Eddie wanted to get in and mix it up. Unfortunately, he winds up on the bottom end of this here, and Jarvis Whitehorse in a very superior position. I just don't see him doing much with it, though.
But remind me and our viewers who maybe didn't see Jarvis fight last time, is Whitehorse more of a boxer than a no-holds-barred fighter?
He's just a slugger, but he outpunched a really talented boxer, and James De La Torre, and he really came out on top on that one. But doesn't look like he's doing too much on the ground here. I'd like to see him get a little more busy. He is throwing some knees now, so.
The thing that I remember about Whitehorse is he's a tough kid. He doesn't look that tough, but boy, he takes some punishment and still stands in there.
He can really take a lot, and he took some shots to get inside on James De La Torre, but then he ended up beating him to the punch more often than not, and ended up knocking his mouthpiece out and got a quick tap out.
And at this point, with some of those camera angles, we want to thank Eddie Zimmer for wearing those compression shorts underneath the trunks tonight. Here's a bit of a reversal now, and look at him go at him. Eddie Zimmer now taking it to Jarvis, who's just taking some blows to the head without defending himself at all.
It's a common mistake against beginners. They relax after there's a break in the action, and that was a nice job of Eddie Zimmer capitalizing on that and laying some big shots on Jarvis Whitehorse.
Eddie's trying to put a throat hold, a choke hold of some kind on Jarvis Whitehorse here. I don't think he's got the leverage to do it.
He doesn't quite have it, and Jarvis has got his head out now. And we'll see if Jarvis does go to work here on top. He didn't before. He's got to stay busy on top and try to improve his position. He's not really doing that right here.
Still held within the guard of Eddie Zimmer, and right back where we started, not a whole lot of action here. You see Zimmer holding Jarvis close to him to prevent any really throwing of big punches, but I don't even see Jarvis trying to get out of it, which is a little odd at this point.
I think he might have been stunned by a couple of those shots that he ate of Eddie Zimmer's, and he's trying to maybe regain his bearings here. Eddie's trying to improve his position. He needs to he doesn't really have a strong guard, and I'm not really impressed with the fact that his ground game, he needs to learn a little bit about positioning, but he's just a tough kid, solid kid.
Jarvis almost got a knee right to the face of Eddie Zimmer there a moment ago, but now he gets him in a full mount position. We'll see what happens. You can see Lonnie Foster, our referee, pushing those ropes out of the way, hoping to keep the action going, but they're a little too far out of reach. He's got to bring him back in here.
But again, Lonnie probably would have let it go if there was something going on, and Jarvis Whitehorse is in one of the more superior positions you can be in, and he did nothing with it.
Well, it's hard to tell from here, but it looks like Jarvis may already have some swelling in that right eye.
Yeah, that's probably what we're talking about, why he's kind of hanging out underneath there. It looks like he took a pretty heavy shot to that left eye there, and there's some serious swelling going on.
That might have been why he was trying to bail out, and you can see that Eddie now just almost putting his forehead right on the bubble of that left eye of Jarvis Whitehorse. Maybe we'll get a better shot of it here as we break for this second round, getting ready to get underway.
Yeah, there's some major swelling going on there. Yeah, boy, he's took a good shot there.
Oh, man, that is almost swelled shut already, and you can see he's still smiling. I told you the last time we saw him fight, he's a guy that takes a lot of abuse and continues to fight on, but, man, that might not be something he can overcome at this point.
He feels no pain, this kid, but I'll tell you what, that thing is just, it's going to be a major thing to deal with.
Wow.
The doctor really
That's
needs to
not it. That's not it. Where is it? Both of those hit the other eye. That's left side, left side. I don't know where the punch came for the right eye, but at some point some big contact was made there by Eddie Zimmer.
I'm pretty sure your ringside doctor is going to come in and take a close look at this thing, and I don't know if we're going to let this kid continue. It looks like
he's coming back out. Man, and you know Zimmer's looking at that right now. He's going to be scared.
Oh, wow.
And he takes a big right hand from Jarvis Whitehorse and knocks him down.
That could have turned things around there with a nice little takedown. He looks like he's trying to get a mount position, but can't quite get his hips over. Trying to hang on to a chokehold as well as he's doing it.
Maybe he's thinking submission hold here just because he knows that eye's going to get him out of it if he doesn't do something quick.
One more good shot to that eye, and it's done. He needs to protect that at all costs, and I think he's doing a wise thing and going right to the ground.
Eddie Zimmer gets out of that chokehold now and starts to work his way loose. But, boy, you can tell I started to say that Zimmer sees that eye, and he just wants to go right after it.
Oh, yeah. You remember the old Rocky movie, Cut Me Mick, by Rocky. He needs to get Mick in his corner there.
Oh, let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. That's not actually something you'd entertain on the Ultimate Combat level, is it?
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you what, somebody better move those trophies over there off of the ring, or somebody's going to end up eating them before the night's through here.
If they want them, I guess, they put them right there for them to get them. Remind them why they're here, I guess.
Both struggling for position again, trying to get an arm lock on, and Jarvis, as he bails out, throws a couple of right hands, but you can tell he just doesn't quite know where he's at the moment.
And again, I'm sure Lonnie Foster is looking close to that eye, making sure that I think if he takes another good shot to that eye.
There's another one. Yeah, I was going to say there's a shot that could end it, but you talk about Jarvis Whitehorse, he just keeps coming after you. Even if he can't see you, he's going to keep lunging forward.
This kid is phenomenal, man. He's just a little machine there. And, he's giving Eddie Zimmer all he can handle. Eddie Zimmer, I thought, was an easy favorite in this match, and Jarvis Whitehorse is giving him all he can take.
You can see Eddie now trying to work his arm underneath there. Gave up on that, so he's going to come over the top with his right arm, but
not doing much there. I think you're going to see him get restarted here in a second. And Lonnie does step in and restart him.
Lonnie will pull him back out and set him back up, but Jarvis better do something. Lonnie's taking a close eye at the eye. Well,
I think he's going to call the ringside doctor over to take a look at it. I think this fight should be stopped. That eye is pretty bad.
Well, and you saw Zimmer make contact one more time, which obviously is just going to make that more of a problem for Whitehorse.
And we know Jarvis doesn't want this fight to be stopped, but from personal knowledge, this is reminiscent of a fight I had where, I was so angry they stopped it until I looked in the mirror, and it looked just like that, and it's right to stop this thing.
Well, now it's bleeding. It wasn't in the beginning, but now it's swelled to the part where, to the point actually, where it's started to bleed. And
they absolutely have to stop this fight. There's no way he can go on like that.
You see our doctor shaking his head that this one can't go on, and so Lonnie's going to step in here momentarily. There's a lot of silence right now in the crowd, and Eddie Zimmer obviously can't tell from where he's standing exactly what that eye looks like. But, boy, anybody that sees it, and there it is, they're going to call it.
Got the word there. This fight's over, yeah. Rightfully so. That was a good shot. Jarvis Whitehorse came out and gave Eddie Zimmer all he could. A great fight, though.
Wow, that's just ugly.
Oh, man.
And this ain't the movies, folks. This is the
that's
real
the real
thing.
deal, baby. Looks like he's growing an appendage out of that eye.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh,
And
that's the shot right there.
there's the other one. Yeah, and you know, at that point, Jarvis just trying to get out of the way of those right and left hands.
He had no way of seeing these punches. His eye was swollen shut.
So there's your winner, Eddie Zimmer, in our first no-holds-barred match of the night, and through it all, Jarvis Whitehorse with a little grin on his face, if you can believe it.
Somewhat of an anticlimactic finish for that fight, but boy, I mean,
Jarvis, you didn't lose that fight. That was a hell of a battle, man. That eye is pretty swollen up.
Yeah, I know. Well, I need to practice, you know. Just working and I have nobody to train with, you know. I'm sure he's training every day, but
Let me tell you something, Jarvis. With your heart of a warrior, you've always got me to train with, brother.
yeah, I love to fight. Today wasn't my night.
Hey, you're runner-up, Utah's toughest fighter. You gonna be back?
Oh yeah, I'll be back.
We talked about it before. He's not a bad fighter. That was a great fight.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, a good brawler. Couldn't get him off of me, so I just decided to try stand up with him, and I guess it worked. So.
Right on. Hey, you look tough. You're the champion. You're the toughest fighter in Utah. How does it feel?
Feels great. Feels real good. Can't wait to do it next round.
Right on, brother. Thanks. Hey. I told you tonight was going to be action-packed. Eddie Zimmer took it to Jarvis Whitehorse. What a great fight. We got a lot more coming out. Kickboxing's up next. I told you those little guys are a lot of fun to watch. We're going to stick with the little guys. We're going to hit into kickboxing with Nathan Rogers and Keith Semken.
The last time we saw this guy fight, both of us, Mike, I think we're a little surprised at his stamina, first of all, but his ability to really get in there and stand toe-to-toe and fight.
Well, you know, he's a Taekwondo guy, so we expected good kicks out of him, but he actually surprised me with how well his hands were.
6 foot 165. He trains at Amy's Martial Arts. He wants to be called the Saint. You got to love this kid, his smile. Keith Semken.
I'm the only guy with the girl corner, and she's my good luck charm. So.
And you keep beating people up.
Yes, I do. I keep beating people up with the good luck charm. So. I always wanted to be like Muhammad Ali when I was younger. So, my hands are pretty natural with watching Muhammad Ali's videos.
Well, Mike, as you pointed out last time, who wouldn't want a sweet-smelling female in the corner instead of a big stinky guy coaching you around?
If it were only that easy, just watching Muhammad Ali videos get tough.
Yeah. Nathan Rogers is his opponent tonight, 5'9", 165, training out of the Ultimate Combat Training Center.
I just talked to my opponent a minute ago. I know he's been training for about a year, mainly in karate, but that's about it. I mean, we just talked for a few minutes. Gonna go out and have some fun, so see how it goes.
These guys always talk about having fun. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They really want to put the hurt on somebody, but they're looking forward to a good time.
You know, fighting is a lot of fun. I tell you what, Nate Rogers has been a real surprise in this tournament. He's only been training for about a month and a half. Came in and had a couple of big victories early in the tournament and finds himself in the finals against a very formidable opponent.
Neither one of these guys really putting on that big, ugly fight face that we see from some of them. Just happy to get in here and mix it up a little bit. Since we're talking kickboxing, of course, it's 3 2-minute rounds and we're underway.
This should be an interesting matchup. Again, Keith, you're going to see with those big kicks, as you see right there, he's got the head kicks, and then Nate Rogers is kind of a bread-and-butter fighter. Just kind of goes to work and does 1-2 punches, not a whole lot of fancy stuff.
And here he comes with one of the 1s and the 2s and gets backed off a little bit, surprisingly, by Keith Semken.
Yeah, I think Nate's a little nervous there. He looks a little stiff, and understandably so. Again, he's only been training for a month and a half, let alone he hasn't had a lot of ring time, and now he's in there against a kid who's pretty accurate puncher and kicker.
Nathan's doing a lot of covering up at the moment. He's up against the ropes, and there's some blood down on the mat. He wants out of this right now.
I think, again, maybe he bit off a little more than he could chew here. He'd beat a pretty good kid in earlier rounds, but now finds himself in against a kid that just overmatched him.
I think he got caught square on the nose, and I don't know that we've got a broken nose, but certainly there you can see the pictures of it.
He's got a bloody nose for sure.
And I think that's what was running through his mind at that point, is that he didn't want to go on, especially if there's going to be further damage done to the nose. And just taking some abuse here up against the ropes, delivered by, of course, Keith Semken.
Well, you know, and Keith must have sensed, or maybe he saw the bloody nose and went after it, because all those shots, he took that uppercut right up the center and then that front kick to the nose as well, and just a little too much for a novice fighter like Nathan Rogers to overcome.
Well, it's about all I can do to watch those ringside medics grab a hold of the nose and wiggle it a little bit to see if it's broke.
Well, they've had their work cut out of them so far for tonight, haven't they?
Yes, they have, and there's your winner with that trademark smile, the Saint, Keith Semken, tonight.
Again, just recently back from an LDS submission, and boy, he's just a tough fighter, but a great kid. Just a nice, you can see how nice he is there. Hugs his opponent, real gracious winner.
Nathan, I've seen that nose look a little better. How do you feel?
I feel good. Got my ass kicked, but I feel good.
Hey, you got nothing to hang your head about. As we talked about it before the fight, you haven't been training long. You came in here, did some really good things early on in the tournament, ran into a buzzsaw tonight, though.
Yes, I did. Got a lot of sparring to do, a lot of training to do, but I'll be back. I'll be champ next time around.
Hey, he's saying it right here. You going to be the champ next time? He's calling it out?
I'm telling it right now. I'll be champ next round.
He looks so nice with his glasses on, man. This guy's a buzzsaw in the ring, though.
It's my Superman move, you know, take those glasses off and, you know, get some superhero moves going on in this. So, yeah, competitors are great. I didn't want this to last long because I hurt my toe last week. I just wanted to get it over, so.
Okay, Keith, you're the champion, man. Is there any kryptonite out there that's going to take away the Superman thing?
I sure hope not.
You going to be around next round?
Yes, sir.
All right, Keith Semken going to defend his title next time. Good job.
Also want to say thank you to Mountain High.
Keith Semken, a little bit too much for Nathan Rogers. We got no holds barred coming up next. A bit of a paradox here. We've got a no holds barred fighter, a submission fighter. Derek Downey is going up against that slugger and Nate Tayborn. See you in a minute. Okay, again, we're back to the no holds barred. Derek Downey, a submission fighter out of the Pedro Sauer gym against Nate T-Bone Tayborn, who's been knocking everybody out with one punch. Should be a great matchup.
And once again, we've got another one of those great specimens out of the Pedro Sauer gym. It's Derek Downey.
Yeah, we can't say enough about the guys that Pedro Sauer has put out. He hasn't put one guy out that just hasn't come into this tournament and just done really well. And Derek Downey's no exception. This kid is just one tough fighter.
He comes in 6 foot 1 inches tall, 185 pounds out of Provo, Utah. And we've only seen him fight one time before, haven't we?
I've seen him a couple times, and he's just been a very dominant fighter. Overwhelms his opponents.
Been training for a little less than a year in jiu-jitsu. That's my background, and I don't like to get hit, so I like to get in close, get the guy on the ground, and ideally hit him till he rolls over and choke him. If not, you know, I don't like to submit from the top, but if I get on the bottom, that's when I'll feel more comfortable in jiu-jitsu. So.
Interesting strategy. You'd rather be on the bottom than the top. And again, that's that jiu-jitsu mentality. They try to feel more comfortable on their backs. It's kind of an interesting theory.
His opponent tonight, I almost didn't recognize when he came in tonight because he shaved his head. It's
the new look.
Nate Tayborn.
That's the new look. Nate Tayborn, man. He came in, he says he shaved the head off just for the finals, so he's taking this thing real seriously.
5'6", 165 pounds, comes in as an independent, and the last time we saw him fight was in an exhibition match taking on
Robert Densley.
Robert Densley. A great fight.
Great fight. Tayborn came out on top with the chokehold at the finish there.
I don't really know much about my opponent. I know he likes to go to the ground, so I'll probably stay on my feet, try to get that chin shot, but if not, I can take him on the ground. I got to say nothing but love for you again, but you got to look out. Here I come.
He looks a little better than the last time we saw him because at the end of that Densley fight, he was beat up pretty good.
His eyes are just starting to recover. You can see it's been 2-3 weeks since then, but he's just now starting to get rid of those black eyes right there.
Yeah, you can still see a little hint of it right there across the bridge of the nose. There's that game face we were talking about that was lacking when Semken and Rogers squared off as they get their last-minute instructions. And as we said, this should be a good one. Tayborn never eases up on his opponents. I guarantee you this is going to be action-packed, and we're underway.
I like the way he's pacing back and forth, back right there like he's stalking his prey. Doing a good job of fighting Derek Downey off here. Derek's usually very good at takedowns, and Tayborn did a good job.
Man.
Nice punch over the top there as well.
He just met him with a right hand that knocked him back a little ways, and you can see Downey continuing to struggle to get him down, but Tayborn doing a good job of mastering his hips there to keep his balance.
Yeah, but ultimately there, Downey does get the, we call it a bear hug, and then he winds up on top in a full mount position. Nate Tayborn's in a little bit of trouble here.
He's now going to be...
Looks like that arm's out there, too. I'd be a little leery of leaving that arm out there to Derek Downey.
In a situation where he's going to try and work his way out of it, but Downey said he wanted to get on top and throw some big bombs and see if he could get him to submit that way, but
You know, Derek's really improved his game since we first saw him. He was primarily just a submission wrestler, and now he's starting to throw some punching in there and get some big strikes in there, so his game's improved quite a bit.
Tayborn has improved substantially, too, since we last saw him, in the sense that he's a little more patient than he used to be.
Yeah, Tayborn usually comes out and blows a lot of energy right off the bat, and he realized that you need to pace yourself and look toward the later rounds. Did a nice reversal there. He's still in Derek Downey's guard, but he did a nice job of getting up on top.
Much to the delight of the crowd. You wouldn't have to be watching to know that there was a change in position, because there was a roar come from this crowd that are gathered here tonight. And Nate's got to be careful he doesn't lose his strums here halfway through the fight.
Derek Downey putting on a shoulder choke there, and I don't know that Nate's really familiar with positioning enough that he's in a little bit of trouble there. Looks like he felt it coming on, and he was able to get out of it, though. You can tell by the crowd, though, Nate Tayborn has a lot of fans. He's got a lot of people that support him, and he's getting a lot of love from the crowd.
You see, as soon as that arm lock came on that you were talking about, Nate started to move to the side to see if he could alleviate some of the pressure that was being applied.
A nice big reversal there by Derek Downey now. So again, Nate Tayborn leaves the arm out there, and Derek Downey's got it on. He's got his arm lock on.
Yeah, there's a lock. Tayborn is in a whole lot of trouble here.
He's too thick-headed to try to tap. He needs a tap.
Yeah,
there you go.
And he did.
I'm glad he did. I mean, there's no sense in letting your arm get broken there. Derek Downey puts on a nice submission hold there. Joe Marcello jumping in to congratulate him there. Great job. Excellent fight.
I'll tell you what, T-Bone will be frustrated with this because he really likes to get in more punches than that. But
hey, there's no bigger competitor than Nate Tayborn, man. That kid hates to lose. And you're right, he's a big puncher and likes to punch, and didn't really get a chance to do that tonight.
There you can see Derek Downey locking it on, and Tayborn tried for a little bit, everything he could try there to get out of it, but at some point it's better just to tap out than to risk some severe damage to your arm.
That was on there pretty tight.
So congratulations to Derek Downey. Just as the game plan said, he liked to get on the ground. Tayborn unable to stay on his feet and fight it out the other way.
T-Bone, you came out, you got an arm lock. It was a great fight up to then. How do you feel?
I feel all right. The guy, he came with a strong hold. I couldn't get out. I got to get my hat to him.
You cool with everything? You going to be back? What's going to happen with Nate Tayborn next?
Oh, this is the last you heard of me, and you'll hear a lot more victories before you hear losses, you know what I'm saying? I'll be back.
All right, man. You did what you had to do tonight. You came out, took him down like you planned. I got a little bit worried when I reversed you, but you stayed, got patient, did what you had to do.
I don't mind being on bottom, but there's that submission you wanted last time.
Okay. Well, he got a submission. That was a great arm lock, man. Excellent job.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I really do.
Okay, so I tell you, you're the middleweight champion. You're going to be around some more. What's going to happen with you next?
I guess it's up to my wife. Hi, Jen. I love you.
There's that submission we talked about. Derek Downey's a submission fighter. Nate Tayborn tried to keep him on his feet, couldn't do it. We got kickboxing coming up next. Frankie Four Fingers and Adam Faulkner.
Here's Frankie Campos. He likes to be called Four Fingers, coming in tonight as a lightweight kickboxer.
Yeah, Frankie, another one of Killa Salvador Sanchez's boxers that have come in and tried the kickboxing game and done really well.
Looks like he got the long straw tonight, so he gets the red, white, and blue headgear and comes in at 5'9" and 135 pounds as an independent fighter out of Magna, Utah.
And again, he's matched up with these kickboxers rather well, out punching them, and he's actually thrown a few kicks of his own.
You got a game plan for tonight?
Go out there and win. Ain't that always a game plan?
Right on, brother. You see the trophies out there?
Oh, yeah, I saw them trophies.
One of those yours?
Got my name on it already.
Already got it engraved. Now that's what you call confidence.
I hope it's in crayon or something so you can wipe it off if necessary.
Yeah, you got to be careful making those kinds of predictions when you know this guy's going to be opposite you in the ring. It's the postman, Adam Faulkner.
And he is the epitome of kickboxing. I mean, he's got all those great kicks, great punches, solid fighter, doesn't really have much of a weakness in any part of his game.
Makes it tough as an opponent to come in and have some kind of a game plan of what to stay in or out of.
You know, it's tough for me as both these guys train at my gym. I got a lot of love for both of them, but Adam's just a hard worker, great fighter.
Pretty closely matched as far as size goes, 5'6", 136. Real tough kid, though, as he gets things ready here.
That's right. I trained for a boxer, and my new opponent, Freddie, he's a boxer also. So, you know, my strategy's not going to change at all tonight. I'm going to go out and do the same things I was going to do against Robert. You know, his legs aren't that great. He can't take a leg kick. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to use my leg kicks, and I'm going to, it's like chopping down a tree. I'm going to start from the ground up.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, that you'll see guys that are more proficient at kicking to really start working on the legs, because once you take that foundation away, it's tough to do just about anything else.
Well, Adam Faulkner apparently, Frankie Four Fingers hasn't left much of an impression on him because he called him Freddie, so maybe he'll step up and teach him his real name. And then Adam referencing in his interview there that Robert Aviles was his scheduled opponent. He backed out at the last minute because of an injury. And Frankie Four Fingers was a solid fighter in the earlier rounds and stepped up and says, yeah, I'll fight him. He just took this fight on a few hours' notice.
We do need to make that point as we get underway here. And just as he said he would do, he comes out two times anyway, working on that right leg.
Again, Frankie Four Fingers not expecting to fight tonight. I mean, he actually ran to the arena here tonight to fight. Found out just a couple hours ago that he was fighting, and comes out a little bit cold, a little slow, so hopefully he can get into a rhythm and get going.
Well, he better be careful taking those big roundhouse punches, because he just leaves himself wide open on the other end for somebody like Adam Faulkner, who's a good, skilled fighter to follow it.
Frankie always looks to throw that overhand right, and he's got a heavy punch there. He just has a hard time setting it up. I'd like to see him use his jab to lead it, and then follow with that overhand right a little more.
If I remember right, the last time we saw Frankie fight, he was almost disgusted with the number of kicks he was taking. He wanted his opponent to box him, and he's going to get a lot more of those kicks tonight.
He's starting to learn how to kick, though. You see him in the gym, and it's something that he's really put a focus on. He's still not super comfortable. It's going to take a little bit of time to where he gets to Adam Faulkner's level.
Right now, he's just way out of range to throw any of those punches, and he's missing with most of his right and left hands.
Which means he's just in range for kicks, and Adam Faulkner's exploiting that very well.
See him step inside, trying to get close, but yeah, he is leery of taking one.
A big kick right there.
He should be, because that one just about clocked him right across the bridge of the nose.
Yeah, and he's tried to shake it off there. That's a good indicator that thing hurt.
You see Adam Faulkner just waiting, buying his time here for the opportunities to present themselves, and he sees another one.
He's just picking him apart. He's doing a nice job of throwing a little bit of everything, and he's landing everything he throws.
Well, and Frankie not doing a good job of protecting himself even with his hands at this point.
Again, he's a little flat, and it's understandably so. He woke up this morning not knowing he was fighting, and it's understandable you'd come in and not really have a good rhythm for a fight because you haven't really prepared for it.
Yeah, and it's a tough opportunity to come in on a finals night, too, of Ultimate Combat, because you're going to be going against the best of the best who are obviously geared up and have known for some time they were going to be here.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we've seen the Robert Aviles, Adam Faulkner matchup twice now, both very close decisions. I was really looking forward to seeing that fight again. Hopefully we'll be able to schedule that in the future. But end of the first round, Adam Faulkner pretty much had his way with Frankie Four Fingers.
That was clearly the case. Neither one of them showing much damage done by either one of the opponents. But you can see there was plenty of contact from Adam Faulkner, both with the hands and the feet, and that left foot just staggered Frankie.
That's a big kick. That in itself could have won the round for him. But even beyond that, Adam Faulkner picked him apart with both kicks and punches throughout the round.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to get a kick up that high and be accurate with it, but because they make it look so easy, but that's a tough task.
Yeah, guys like Adam Faulkner make it look easy when you're old and fat like me. You can't do that anymore.
And again, Frankie just taking the abuse down low with the kicks, up high with another left hand.
Adam Faulkner, just everything he seems to be throwing is landing.
Right, and a good combination. Both scoring on the chin of Frankie Campos.
Yeah, he caught a couple of punches there, but he landed the bigger punches in that combination. He continues just to pick Frankie Four Fingers apart.
Well, one thing Adam will do, and most fighters will do, is they'll take a couple of punches from you, and once they figure out that there's a great roundhouse reverse kick.
I think Frankie Four Fingers is in a little bit of trouble here. I think Adam's going to finish him off right here. He smells blood and senses Frankie's in trouble.
We've seen Adam throw that kick several times before without that kind of success. You know that feels good to him because he loves that show for the crowd.
He loves that show, and that side kick he just threw there is equally as devastating to the body, and you can see he's just landing anything he throws right now.
Boy, both of these guys are landing some punches right now, but boy, Frankie's getting the worst end of that deal, and after he takes a right and a left and gets his gloves down, then he takes a leg.
Adam wanted a big aerial kick there, and I think referee's going to start looking a little closely at Frankie Campos. He's been dazed, he's been hit a lot, and I'd really be looking at him closely for a standing 8, if not maybe to end this fight.
What I started to say a minute ago before the flurry of Adam Faulkner is good fighters, and Adam's one of those, will take a couple of punches from their opponent, and if they think that you've delivered the best you've got, they'll step in and take some chances and some risk and really have the opportunity to hurt you. They'll take your punches because they know you're not going to hurt them.
Absolutely, and I think Adam's starting to feel that groove right here where he feels like Frankie can't hurt him, and anything he throws has been landing, so he's just going after it. A nice kick and punch combination there to finish the round. I think we're going to end this fight here. His corner just threw in the towel, and rightfully so. He was taking a beating in there, and again, Frankie Campos is a better fighter than we saw tonight. He was ill-prepared as a result of not really knowing he was going to fight. I'd like to see this matchup again. This is a good matchup for the two of these guys.
There's that kick right to the side of the head, and I think our referee was about ready to give Frankie a standing 8 count there, and they just decided to throw in the towel and end this one.
Yeah, you can see.
Oh, man, yeah.
Adam was just landing anything he wanted to.
You've got to call that one at that point. So there you have it. The postman continues on his tear and walks away as a champion of round 3 of the Ultimate Combat Experience. Congratulations again to Adam Faulkner.
And again, Adam Faulkner lays it on the line. He's challenging any lightweights to come in and get in the ring with him in the state of Utah. He knows he's the toughest lightweight in Utah right now.
Frankie Four Fingers, nothing to hang your head about tonight, brother. You came in 1 day's notice, and that was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, he had a lot more than I expected. Really did.
Yeah, but I've seen this guy train in the gym. This kid's a tough fighter. I fully believe he had a little more time to prepare. It'd be a different story.
It might be, but, you know, we'll never know. Until next time, tune in.
Adam Faulkner, the first person to three-peat in the Ultimate Combat Experience, 3-time champion. How does it feel?
Feels great. He's a tough fighter, but I just come out, I knew what I had to do, and I wanted it more than he did, so I went out and got it.
You know, Adam, I've seen guys, you fought just about a little bit of everything. You've had guys that have kicking skills, boxing skills. You've taken them all apart.
I just try and train a little of both. I just try to know a little bit about the guy I'm fighting and, you know, try to train hard for whatever it is I got to do to beat him.
Hey, the People's Warrior showed up to fight tonight. His opponent had a personal injury, personal problem he had to take off. Gedeon Jarvis stepped up to the plate, said he'll fight him. We've got a championship fight coming up now in the no-holds-barred heavyweight division.
I know we've said it before, but they just don't get any tougher than this kid, Josh Burkman.
He is the People's Warrior, and he's definitely a crowd favorite. He's got a lot of people here supporting him tonight. And this kid's got the complete package. He's a wrestler, he's a puncher, he's a fighter. He's got an all-around fight game.
Didn't I hear he's also attempting or is going to play for the University of Utah football team this year?
I know he was an All-American in junior college and had some possibilities to go into the university. I'm not sure if that's actually going to come to fruition or not, but he's an excellent athlete. And you can see his T-shirt he had on there earlier. Custom Fit Nutrition is a proud sponsor of Josh Burkman here. So
turns to the crowd and says, "Give me the love."
We're going to talk about tonight. What are you going to do tonight?
I don't know. Usually I got a little bit of a game plan, you know, but tonight I don't even know.
His opponent tonight is Gedeon Jarvis, and the reason that Josh doesn't know is because we don't really know what to expect from this guy either.
Well, you never hear Josh be at a loss of words. That's the first time I've ever seen him not having anything to say. But Gedeon Jarvis, again, we had a tough night at the Ultimate Combat tonight. We had a last-minute injury earlier in the fight, and then tonight one of our fighters had some legal problems, and the police showed up to look for him, and he had to run out the back door. So Gedeon Jarvis stepped up and took his place to fight Josh Burkman tonight.
Here's what we know about him. 5'10", and I didn't catch that. 180, I think?
180 pounds.
180 pounds, and you can see our referee for this one is going to be Jeremy Haskell.
Well, this takes a lot of guts. My hat's off to Gedeon Jarvis to jump in. He knows everything about this kid, Josh Burkman. Josh is as tough as he get, but he says, you know what, I'll get in and mix it up with him.
He didn't know enough to take his tennis shoes off before he got into the ring, however.
I think all those gym clothes there are borrowed and everything. He's in the ring, but, man, my hat's off to this kid. This takes a lot of guts.
It takes a lot of guts for a trained fighter to get in here that's been working toward this fight against somebody like a Josh Burkman. So, yeah, you're right about that. He does stand in like he's ready to go and looks like a good fighter, so we'll see what happens here. But the crowd really happy that they got the opportunity to see Josh Burkman fight. Many of them came just for that tonight.
I would say about 50% of the people in this arena are here to see him, the other 50% to see Johnny Riche, so stick around for that one. And Gedeon doing a good job of shooting in on Josh Burkman. Josh, as we talk about, nice hip mastery, gets his hips back and thwarts the attempted takedown.
Throws a knee there, but now just, well, and he's getting a little warning from Jeremy to stay off of the ropes there. But, yeah, Gedeon's doing all he can to take him down, and Josh just isn't having anything to do with that.
Jarvis throws a nice punch as they broke there, and again, Gedeon come out to fight. He didn't come here to lay down for Josh Burkman. He came out to fight.
Although he lays down right there.
not by choice.
Help.
Yeah.
With a little help.
Josh Burkman in a nice superior position here. He's got Gedeon Jarvis's back. I'd like to see him do something. He's not even looking to choke him. He just wants to punish this kid, it looks like. Maybe he's mad because this kid come out and punched him a couple of times. So.
I guess so. He said, you really want to fight, then I'll fight. He's going to do it both, though. He'll get the chokehold
on there.
And throw some punches.
You know, Josh Burkman doesn't get his hooks in behind there. He needs to learn how to do that. He's just throwing the choke on, and he's used to just muscling guys through. Doesn't work on this Gedeon Jarvis kid. He's too tough for that.
Boy, now Gedeon's taking face shot after face shot after face shot. He's lost his mouthpiece already, but somehow finds his way to his feet. Josh Burkman, though, doesn't give him time to breathe. He steps right back in to put the hold on one more time.
Hey, this kid is tough, man. I'm impressed with this guy. I'm going to have to go recruit this kid. Give him a little training, a little more notice. This kid's going to be a tough fighter.
You see the People's Warrior working his way around the back, now just throwing punches to the midsection here. You're right, he does look like he just wants to punish Gedeon for stepping in here tonight, although he may be a little surprised that Gedeon is putting up such a fight.
Well, you know, Josh has tried to put on a couple of submissions, and Gedeon's actually gotten the better.
Man.
Ooh, big punch there. Gedeon's in trouble there.
Gedeon goes down and looked like he may have been on his way out, but Josh Burkman immediately jumps on top and just starts wailing away again with the right and the left hand.
But Gedeon Jarvis, again, continuing to battle. He's not laying there taking these shots. He's actually trying to get out from underneath. I can see Jeremy Haskell looking real close here, though, as if Gedeon Jarvis doesn't protect himself a little better, we're going to have to stop this fight.
And those aren't just rabbit punches, let me tell you that.
When Josh Burkman hits you, you know it. This kid has got a lot of upper body strength, and he knows how to use it.
Well, you talk about body strength. Gedeon just continues to push, even though he's taken nothing but abuse here so far.
Oh, a great job. Going for the ankle, perfect. I mean, I really like what I'm seeing out of this kid. He's got a lot of great natural instincts, man. He could be a tough fighter if he continues with it.
Now again, Josh Burkman sees the opportunity to put it on.
I think he's got a tight chokehold on there. I don't think Gedeon Jarvis is going to get out of this.
Well, he's got nowhere to go. He's wrapped up with the legs, plus he's got the chokehold, and there's the tap. So
Burkman needs to learn to arch his back on that, look up, and like you're squatting and just pull on the head there. But, hey, Gedeon Jarvis, hats off to him. Great fight.
Boy, and you see him tap Burkman on the leg there and shake his hand before it's over. He did get bloodied up a little bit. You can tell he's a bit dazed from taking some pretty good punches, and then those chokeholds. There's the right hand.
That was that big right hand, sent him to the canvas, and then Josh Burkman just gets on and finishes it.
Wow, there's a shot in slow motion, and watch him hit the man here. Hats off again, though, to Gedeon Jarvis for stepping in on a last-minute notice and taking on one of the toughest guys we've seen in this tournament anytime. Josh Burkman, the People's Warrior, will go home with another trophy tonight.
Well, Burkman's another one of those guys that's laid out the challenge. He's the light heavyweight champion, thinks he's the best in the city.
Nobody knew who Gedeon was before the night started, but Gedeon, everybody knows who you are now.
Right on, that's what I like to know, buddy. Kick ass.
He's got the face of a warrior, and I tell you what, this kid stepped in under some bad circumstances and stepped up to the plate big time.
Yeah, I'm way out of shape. I wish I was more shape. I want to get training and fight some more.
We're gonna see more. We're gonna see more of you, Gedeon.
Oh, you bet, dude. Within the couple of months, dude, I'm gonna start training, and then this ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna start winning.
The People's Warrior stepped up and did it for the people tonight.
Hey, man, nobody wanted to fight me. That guy's got some balls. Step in here. Came out, just checked it out, you know.
He's got bigger balls than I do. I tell you, we have laid the challenge out all night long ever since your opponent left under unforeseen circumstances. We've been laying it out all night, and I've seen some big bad dudes running scared, wouldn't fight you.
Steroids don't want to fight. They just want to look good. This littlest guy in here jumped in here. I got him bad props. It's a bad man right there. He's just lucky I took it easy on him.
Take nothing away, though. The People's Warrior is the champion, and he is deservedly so the champion.
You know this. I'll be the champion for a while, too.
There's your round 3 champion. No holds barred heavyweight, the People's Warrior, Josh Burkman.
Give my guy Gedeon Jarvis credit for stepping in there. Josh Burkman, just a little bit too much for him. He's our champion. He's our heavyweight champion. Coming up next, so you don't want to go away. The little ball of hate, Johnny Riche, and this kid who's tougher than heck, Robert the Record Densley. Those of you who tuned into round 3 know this Robert Densley kid is tough. He has put away some pretty tough competition. We got Johnny Riche, the little ball of hate, and Robert Densley, and no holds barred. And the little ball of hate's coming up.
Oh, they don't get any tougher than Robert
The
Densley.
little ball of hate. They love this guy.
And then Robert Densley, he's an awesome fighter. He's a wrestler. He's going to ground and pound.
He wants a knockout, and boy, he is throwing right hand, left
There's
hand.
the big guns there. Johnny Riche brings in the 6 shooters, and he knows
The
what to do.
little ball of hate looks like he's ready to go tonight.
These guys will land punches, I assure
He's got a
you.
good punch that usually knocks people
I feel
down.
confident on my feet, and if it needs to go down to the mat, then I feel comfortable going down to the ground.
Just come out punching. Densley always goes right to the head. He wants a knockout. He's in big trouble here.
And now you're in my world. Now you're in my world. You're my territory. When you're on the ground, I'm not going to stop pounding you. I'm not going to stop punishing you and punching you. And you know, and ultimately, I'm looking for the knockout.
Boy, look at those eyes of Robert Densley. Both of these fighters looking forward to this matchup. I know the crowd is as well. That's one of the reasons why it has been so electric here tonight on finals night. But Johnny, the little ball of hate Riche's coming in first.
Oh boy, Tim, I have personally been waiting for this fight for a long time. These two guys will throw it all in the ring tonight. I cannot wait to see what goes on.
5'7", 154 pounds, training out of the Ultimate Combat Training Center. Here's Johnny.
You know, this fight's going to be a tough fight. I think this Robert Densley kid, man, he's a warrior. He's hungry, and I think it's going to be a battle. You know, I see this kid, and what I see in this kid, I see a lot of myself. He likes to punch. He likes to wrestle. You know, he can mix it up both on his feet and on the ground, and I think that's where the battle's going to be because we have similar styles, so I think it's going to be a war. He's the hungry wolf climbing that mountain to get those sheep, and I feel that I am the wolf that's on top of that mountain that can pick any sheep I want. He's hungry, he wants it, but I'm the reigning champ right now, and I plan on keeping it that way.
Boy, Mike, for all of his successes, though, Johnny's had some real disappointments when it comes to finals nights with Ultimate Combat.
Well, he's had the ups and downs. He lost a really disappointing match to Alberto Castillo, and then he came back and avenged that loss last round. Hopefully he can stay on a winning streak here against this tough kid, Robert Densley.
This is going to be fun. Lightweight, no holds barred fighting. Both times we've seen these guys get in the ring, or when we've seen both of them get in the ring, not necessarily against each other, they have really taken it out on an opponent. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the best of it tonight. But Densley, 5'7", 154 pounds. He likes to be called the Wrecker.
Hopefully. Johnny's a good fighter. I'm not putting anything past him. I've seen him fight, and he's a good fighter. And he made it to the 3 finals, so I'm not putting anything past him at all. I know he's a good fighter. I just know it's going to be a good fight.
Our pre-fight interviews, by the way, tonight sponsored by The Keyhole, specializing in lingerie, body jewelry, and adult products. We thank them for coming on tonight.
Well, I tell you what, man, there is no more of a steely gaze than that Robert Densley. His eyes will just pierce right through you, man. That kid is one tough cucumber, man.
I'll tell you what might be the toughest thing for both of these guys is just showing a little restraint in the early seconds and minutes of this fight, because both of them like to come out just throwing anything they've got.
Yeah, you're going to see all the dust get kicked up here in the first round. I guarantee you, these guys both come at you and come at you hard. This is going to be a great battle.
You can tell the crowd's ready for it, and all of those Johnny Riche fans standing right behind him there ringside. We wish you could be here with us live to see it tonight.
Lonnie Foster gets them started, and as expected, they come right out throwing bombs at each other. Johnny Riche coming over the top, but Robert Densley doing a nice job of taking him down.
We've seen Densley go for the first minute to minute and a half of these fights before, standing toe-to-toe and boxing it. So he obviously sees some advantage in getting Johnny down on the mat first.
You know, Robert Densley tells me he really doesn't formulate a game plan. He comes out and just what happens, happens. And Robert, obviously the flow of the fight took him to the ground. He's not looking to take Johnny Riche down or stay up with him. He just kind of goes with the flow.
Well, what happened there was they ended up outside the ring, and now comes that flurry from
the big knee right there
from the
Robert
top
Densley.
side. And Johnny says, I don't want any part of this. Let's go down to the mat. But Densley's having nothing to do with that.
We've seen Johnny. He's excellent at takedowns. He got in a deep shot there on Densley. Densley able to stave him off. And again, Densley throwing some big shots, knees and punches, and then Johnny Riche answering. What a great battle so far.
It really is, and you see Densley come with a knee, so it's almost like Johnny says, here's one back. Then they throw right hands and square off with the left.
Boy, they're just trading punches. They have no regard for defense. They're just sitting here, let me see who can take what I've got.
Right now, Densley happy to get the knees in there and then steps back to throw a couple of punches.
Big punch over the top by Densley. And again, there's no backup in either one of these guys. They don't care what you've got. Let's show you what I've got.
Johnny does keep looking to take down Robert Densley, but just not getting that opportunity yet.
Both of them very good high school wrestlers. So they've got a wrestling background. Both of them able to take down and defend takedowns very nicely.
Well, Johnny's sucking some pretty good air here to start this fight. And conditioning has been a problem for him in the past.
Look at that. Densley picks up the kick, holds it in his hand, and just continues to punch over the top. Man, this kid is awesome.
Which is absolutely legal.
Oh, absolutely legal. And it was just great. I mean, to see it happen, you don't see that happen too often. People drop their hands to grab a kick. Usually they're the one being punched.
Well, then to have the balance to hold the guy off while he's trying to kick you and still get some punches from the top.
He just doesn't stop. He's got a nice position there, and he still starts throwing these at the thighs. And believe me, those will take a toll on you. Johnny Riche's going to be walking funny tomorrow.
Remember those old days when your older brother used to give you the Charlie horse in the thigh? That's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, except if your brother hit you that hard, man, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
Mom had ground him for more than a week, I guarantee you. So there's a little holding on going on here as Johnny Riche tries to figure out where his next opportunity is, but Densley's not going to wait.
Yeah, I think Johnny's out of gas here. He's sucking a little bit of air and looking to hide out just a little bit here, but Robert Densley not letting him do that. He's looking to capitalize on the fact that Johnny Riche is sucking a little air here.
Little ball of hate, tried a little reversal there, didn't quite make it. Densley did a good job of recovering his position. And now, well, I thought he was going to put on a chokehold there.
Well, again, see, Robert Densley's just a tough kid, and he doesn't really know these finishes all that well. If he would learn a little bit of a technique, this kid could be a world-class fighter. He has all the goods. He just needs to learn a little bit.
Wow, that was a tough throw that I thought Johnny was going to get on him, but again, Densley finds his way back to the top to end the round.
Oh, he almost did get that throw, but I think Johnny out of gas and just didn't have quite enough to get around on top.
As expected, we told you there was going to be a lot of action in this one, and I think as what happened with Johnny at the end of the first round of Ultimate Combat, he just needs to pace himself a little bit better.
Yeah, you can see right here, Robert Densley not nearly as tired as Johnny Riche looks in his corner. Johnny's in a little bit of trouble here in my view.
Although when you've got an opponent who's coming at you like Densley does, how do you pace yourself? Because you're constantly on the defensive.
There's absolutely no way to pace yourself. That's what I'm saying. Robert Densley's just coming at him with too much, throwing the kitchen sink at him, and Johnny Riche's in a little bit of trouble here because Robert Densley is not about to let up.
We're scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, but boy, 3 minutes seems like forever if you're in the middle of something like this war.
You can see Johnny trying to shoot in, hide out a little bit, but look, Robert Densley is just a continuous, non-stop fighter.
He's something to watch because if you give him a right hand, he's going to take that opportunity. If you give him a left hand, he'll take that. If you want to stand and box, he'll do that.
And he took that nice takedown. There's got a full mount on Johnny Riche here. Johnny Riche's in trouble.
Johnny now just trying to protect his face, and
Robert not letting him.
He's going to give him some forearms right across the bridge of the nose there.
Hey, you know, Johnny said in his interview that this kid's hungry, and you can see it. This Robert Densley is hungry, man, and he has a statement to make here, and he's making it. Johnny Riche looking to bail out. He's rolling to his stomach here, almost giving Robert Densley his back. He's saving his face a little bit, but I think Robert Densley's going to sneak a little chokehold on here.
Well, and again, you talk about Densley maybe getting a little more training with the finishing holds. This might be it. Yeah. There it is. So Robert Densley gets one more opportunity as Johnny Riche, I believe, as you said in the first round, Mike, was just out of gas and rolled over and basically gave up his back to Densley.
And a nice little backflip right there from Densley. You can see, again, he's not tired at all if he's doing that kind of stuff.
Still got the energy to go. There are those forearms right to the face.
And you know Johnny Riche will be back. This kid's a warrior in every true sense, but Robert Densley, man, came out here and set the mark on who is toughest in this lightweight division, and it's without question Robert Densley.
And still got the energy to fly high, so congratulations to the wrecker. He does his wrecking job here. Robert Densley, again a champion of the Ultimate Combat Experience.
Well, I was afraid of this. I'm going to lose my wife to this kid. She just thinks the world of him, and now he's the champ. You know, she thinks he's got those good eyes too, so Robert Densley's got it all.
Keeping families together. Also, Mountain High Motorsports.
Johnny Riche showing good sportsmanship there.
like I said, he was hungry, and it looked like he was a little bit more starving than I was. So he walked away with the W, and I'll see him again, though.
You know, I tell you what, I saw this happen one time before. Somebody was a little more hungry than you and came out and beat you. But Johnny, believe me, Johnny comes back with a vengeance. You going to be back, Johnny?
Of course, of course. I love this. This is better than anything, so I'll be back, I promise.
Johnny, did what happened tonight, though, did it motivate you to get in the gym and train?
Oh, dude. Mark my words, Mike Stidham. Not going to miss it. I'll be there every day.
Okay, well, Johnny, tell your people out there, make the commitment to them. You going to be there, baby?
I'm going to be at the gym every day so I can put on a much better show for you folks at home.
All right, the wrecker, he's the new champion. This guy came in and just dominated.
Well, I knew that fight was going to be tough. I mean, I'm so tired, and I felt like I was in pretty good shape, but I'm wore out. Johnny's a hell of a fighter. Good job to Johnny.
But you're the man. You're #1. You're the toughest kid in Utah, man, Robert Densley.
Yeah, it feels great. I love it. I love the atmosphere, and I love everyone cheering. It feels great. It's fun.
I think you got some new fans tonight, man. When you came in here, everybody's chanting, Johnny, Johnny. By the end of the night, you had him won over.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That makes me feel so good. And thanks to everyone here that comes to watch me and supports me.
And let me tell you, so one thing about this kid, he's a humble, nice, classy kid, and he's our champion, Robert Densley. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thanks.
A new champion has emerged. That Robert Densley, I told you, he's a tough kid. He took little Johnny Riche out this time. I'm sure Johnny will be back, though. Hey, we want to thank all our sponsors, Mountain High Motorsports, Priority One Bail Bonds, keeping families together. I'm Mike Stidham. I want to thank all the fighters, all the fans. Round 3 has been great. We're going to be back going at it again. June 7th is round 4. We've got all kinds of fighters lining up to fight. It's going to be an absolute excellent tournament. So you want to stick around for that? We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.